Okay, right. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. It is indeed a beautiful morning in Auckland, and straight after this, I will hightail out to my garden where I've got some roses to plant and some weeds to pull. So, I am really passionate about mathematics, and I'm passionate about making it accessible to all students and making it exciting for teachers as well. So I have put together this presentation on algebra, hoping that you will go away with a lot of activities and tasks that you can use immediately in your classroom on Monday. So here we go. Whoops. Okay, so I think I need to click out of that. Here we go. So what is algebra? I think of it, and when I talk to children about it, and I have pitched this presentation as if I was doing it for children, it's a puzzle. It's a puzzle where you need to figure things out. It identifies and describes patterns. Children have started working with algebra by the time they are just a few months old. They are intrigued by patterns. And in fact, all of us are. We are ruled by patterns, in fact. Day, night, the seasons, we're all ruled by patterns. They're an integral part of our lives. And I'm pleased they are. So here's our first little activity. And I really loved this explanation. It says, finding the unknown. To solve an equation, you use the opposite operation to isolate the variable. If you see addition, subtract. If you see subtraction, add. If you see multiplication, divide. You see division, multiply. It sounds so easy. So let's try it. Now, this little activity is taken from Transom, and there's a variety of great starter activities that I have included for you, and we'll explore a couple of them later on. But let's try this one now. So if we go in here, let's look at the first one and then the bottom right. So if we look at the first one, Michael thinks of a number. If I double my number and add 2, the answer is 26. So if we're thinking of that opposite game, what would we do first? We'd take away 2, which would give us 24, and then we'd divide by 2, which would give us 12. Makes it very simple. Now, here's the bottom one. I'm just going to leave this, pause for a little bit and give you a few minutes to play with this one. And then please do put it in the chat. I was doing this at 6 o'clock this morning because my husband's away playing golf for the weekend. And I had a lot of fun with this. Molly thinks of a number. If I multiply my number by 4 and subtract 6, then multiply the result by 6, the answer is 4. Oh no, this has changed. Here's a little heads up. Every time you go into this, it refreshes the problem. So this was not the problem that I did before. But do you want to have a play with this? Yeah, have a play for 5 minutes. But this is not the one I did this morning, which is fun. So I'm going to start with going 424 minus 4 So I know that the answer is 420. Then I think I might divide it by 6 because that was multiply. So that gives me 70. Okay. Then I need to subtract 6, don't I? So that takes me down to 64.
You do your opposite, Wendy. You're in the
I'm
middle in front of us, so you're under pressure. You want to add
opposite,
6.
aren't I? Oh, add
Yeah.
6. That's what I did this morning. So I'm up to 76 then, aren't I? Whoops. I'll start again. I'm going to keep calm. This is what I did this morning. So I know my answer is 420. I have so many numbers scribbled all over this page. So I'm going to divide by 6, and I have 70. So now I need to add 6, 76, and then I need to divide by 4. Excellent. Done. Have we all finished it? What did you get? Let's have a look. Okay. So I got 19. Alrighty, back to our presentation. So that was just a little fun activity to explain those ideas. Now, the next one, why is algebra useful? You can just read that for yourselves. And here is our next activity. Looking for patterns. So I clicked on this and I just fell in love with it. This is our first link, Pip. So Pip's going to put it into the chat and I'd like you to open it and have a look at it because this has wonderful opportunities for exploration. So if you will just click on that and then we can have some fun. Please put in your ideas, but I loved it because you could simplify this or you could make it quite difficult. But look at this, the sum of any 3 horizontally adjacent numbers. So if we look at this, for instance, if we look at 2, 3, and 4, okay, and we find that 2, 3, and 4 will give us 9. But we could express that if we expressed 2 as A, 3 as B, 4 as C, we could say that B equals B, 3B equals the sum of A plus B plus C. But you could make that a lot simpler. But if you look at some of these others here, the sum of any 3 vertically adjacent numbers, there are all sorts of wondrous patterns in there. I'll just give you a couple of minutes to have a play with some of these. And do please, I'm interested in your comments. But you could actually get the children to create these themselves and give them to their classmates as problems. To hear, what you think about this. When we do that with students, how would you explain the order of the process? Well, First I would get them to come up with their ideas, and then I would encourage class discussion about this and then work on the answers that the students give me. That's what I would do. Yeah. Yeah. Vertically and adjacent. Great. Yeah. Lovely language. Oh, how rich for the children. And so I would probably start definitely with explaining that language. Yeah. Great. Hey, thank you so much for that. Right, let's go back to the presentation and we will skip to the next slide. I have to do it with. All right, so now we're going to have a little bit of fun. This will be the second link pip. So just even this lovely little pattern on the side, I could just put that up at some time in the day and say to the students, gosh, how many squares do you think there are? And that in itself would engender a lot of rich discussion. But the one that we're going to look at is from Enrich, and it is the Teddy Town problems. Now, you can actually, I've actually made these as a concrete material, and instead of teddies, I've just used blocks. And once you have a little exploration with this, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But I've chosen this interactive because it is in several levels. So it goes from very simple to actually quite complex. And I have done this with the children using concrete materials. But Pips, put it in the chat. And if we have a play with this now, whoops, I've gone too far. Here we are. So
Back, yeah.
yeah, so it's the first one, Teddy Town. So if we open it up, and if you have a look, the very first one, are you all in? Have you all got the link? Okay, great. So the very first one is relatively simple. Match each teddy to a house so that the four pairs are all different from each other. So that's a lovely interactive, nice and simple to start with. But if you scroll down, and once again, I'm just going to give you 5 minutes to play with this. If you scroll down, and then you look at Teddy Town Part 2. So it progressively gets more challenging and requires more logical thinking. So this is Part 2. Then it goes to Part 3, Part 4, and Part 5. And then down the bottom, you will find the printable Enrich Roadshow resource. Now, the Enrich Roadshow, which I will show you later on, is an addition to the normal Enrich website, and it is excellent. But for now, for the next 5 minutes, do have a play with some of the Teddy Town activities. So we'll, at 25 past 11, we'll come back together. And do please put in the chat your thoughts about these activities. I'm going to play with part 3. So each of my houses has to be on a different row and in a different column. Some great thinking going on here. Love these puzzles. The other reason why I really enjoy these puzzles, I give them to children whose number knowledge is not that great, and they shine at these. So it gives them confidence. They realize that actually mathematically they're quite capable. You're right, Pip. It is quite a lot of pressure to do this when people are watching you.
It is.
Do you know this morning I made the same mistake? There was a different problem up there, and I kept subtracting instead of adding, which is good that I made that mistake because it makes me realize that's what children will do.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's actually not a bad thing at all. Everyone having fun?
It's very cool.
All the teddies have to be different as well. Different rows, different columns. But I did this with coloured squares and blocks. So I just used those connecting blocks and then just printed squares on coloured paper and then made a grid. I'll share that with you. I'll put it on the presentation because it's very cool. Okay. Right, let's go back because you can play with that for the rest of the day if you wish. Now, on this page, there are also some other lovely algebra orientated interactives for you. We won't go into those now though, because I've got a lot more to share with you. Okay, but they are there for you to play with at any time. Here we go. Next one. All right. So I'm actually going to take some time now to show you this site because I think it's very, very valuable. This is from the University of Waterloo. So Pip, if you pop in the website into the chat, I will just take you through this very briefly before we do a couple of these problems because it's worthwhile. There's some fantastic problem solving here. You just need to know where to go and find things. So if you click on it. So it's not a flash looking site, but it is full of wonderful resources. So it comes up with this, and then you scroll down. Now, I have actually signed up to the problem of the week. So I get a new problem every week that I can use with my students. If you scroll all the way down, you get to, hold on. Oh, sorry. I know what I need to do. Think this is hiding where you need to go into explore tools and resources. Can you see that? I can't see it anymore.
On the main heading, it says tools and resources along the bar.
Yeah, but there's actually another one, but I'm not going to panic. So let's go tools and resources overview. And I just have to keep moving this out of the way. So if we go into problem of the week, we click into that. So I'm doing problem of the week with years 3 to 12. Okay, so I'm going to click into that and I can download the problem, but I can go all the way down and I can now choose my grade level, which would be 3 to 4, but it could be 5 to 6. Then when it goes to all, I'm just going to click on Algebra, and then I'll move us all around again. And then year, I'm just going to put any. So it goes right back to 2023. And you will see this wonderful array of rich problem-solving tasks. They truly are wonderful. So I just wanted to share that site with you because I think it's a little bit of a gold mine. So now if we go back to the problem that I was going to share with you, if we go into Banana Bonanza, which is one of the problems from the algebra section. Okay, move this around. And what a lovely little problem to put up there for students. 3 monkeys found a tree that has 54 bananas growing on it. Each monkey eats 2 bananas a day from the tree, and no other animals eat any of the bananas. How many bananas will be left on the tree at the end of the first day? If they start eating from the tree on a Monday, on what day of the week will they eat the last banana? Would you like to have a play with that? Or, yes, give me a thumbs up if you'd like to have a play. Okay, so have a play with that for, let's say, 3 minutes, because I've still got lots to share with you. This is a very approachable problem. It's lovely for children as well because they all like monkeys. I like problems that have monkeys in them. It's great for drawing pictures and, yeah. Have a play and then just give me a thumbs up when you've had enough and I'll carry on. I think I've got 8. I've pulled 8 algebra problems there for year 3 and 4. But if you go into 5 and 6, now that you know where to find it, there will be a lot more there for you. Okay. Right. Let's go back to the presentation. There's another one there. Oh, a bunch of flowers. Gosh, I had fun doing this morning. It's a beautiful problem, so do explore it. I won't do it now because I do have a few other things to share with you, but a bunch of flowers is a wonderful problem. Lovely. Here we go. So those are all from the University of Waterloo. So let's skip on. And of course, our lovely U cubed. We're not going to go into these today, but I will click on the border problem because I have used this with many different age groups. And if I scroll down and show you these lovely visuals, this is what I've used with students. And it's a great problem because they all want to say that the perimeter is 40. That's younger students. My year 4s and 5s will say, but it has to be 40 because there's 10 on each side. And that's when the wonderful discussion comes in. So do explore that. It's lovely. Here we go. Right, now here is some more activities, from Transom. And once again, I have pulled the algebra ones. Now this one, add them up, is fantastic. So it says, right, add up all the numbers from 1 to 58. Now, I do not start with this. I did this with year 3 the other day, and I said, now write the numbers from 1 to 10 across the top of your whiteboard. And what I would like you to do, add them all up. So they all started with 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 4 is 6, 10, so and so. And I said to them, look at it another way. How could you make tens from these numbers? So a couple of them started going, oh yeah, 1 plus 9, 2 plus 8, 3 plus 7. That's really cool. And I said, yes, it is. Now try numbers 1 to 20. So they were truly up for the challenge. So with my older students, I started with numbers 1 to 30. They really do love this challenge. So it's a great one to try. And this as well. All of these are fantastic. There's 2 pages of them for you. But if we go into this one, right, let's try this. So B equals 6, T equals 4, and S equals 7. You have 4 minutes to write down as many equations as you can involving B, T, and S. Well, we'll just do 2 minutes till 11:34. So go 2 minutes. Write down as many equations as you can using B, T, and S. So what you have here are 2 pages of these lovely algebra starters. So I do hope you enjoy them. The Mystic Math is a lot of fun. Okay. From Taharangi, down the bottom, I have linked to you all the level 2 and 3 algebra tasks. But I thought that I'd just show you this one. It's quite a lovely task. Adding 10 tiles. Jim has 10 tiles with one of the numbers from 0 to 9 on each one. He plays around and discovers that he can make some addition sums. The 4 digits in the sum always seem to add up to 18. How many answers can Jim make? So I did this with my year 3 children the other day. Thoroughly enjoyed it, got some great results. It really got them thinking. I always let them work in 2s or 3s to encourage that mathematical discussion. So yeah, give it a try. It's a really, really good activity. Now we're going to move on. There's some others that are really rich, good, rich tasks. Okay, now this was a wonderful find, and I have included this website at the end for you because not only does it go into algebra and patterning, it's got all your number and operations, probability, fabulous. So I just want to show you though, if we go in here, I'm quite excited about this site. So down here, this problem was called acorn hoarding. So if we go down here, It will give you, it's got 5 days of problems. I'm just going to move us around again so that I can see the other side. It's got 5 days of problems, and with the intention. And now, if you look at this, is the first little video. It's beautifully done. There's no sound, which I like. So I'll actually go to the full screen so you can see this easier. So here we go. This is day 1. Day 2. Day 3. Day 4. And at any time you can pause this if you want the children to have a closer look. But I like the fact that there's no sound because it just gives the children time to think and look. Now, then what do you notice? What do you wonder? Now, the next video prompt is the partial reveal. So here we go in here. So this I really think is excellent. So they then start to show you the array. So there are your 5 acorns. There we go. And the children start to get excited when they see this happening. Okay, so I think you've got the gist of this. So now it talks about, then it shows you this gorgeous graphic. There are about 60 or 70 of these, and this is all dealing with productive struggle. But it's not all squirrels are hoarders. So then it shows you children's working, and then it shows you a different squirrel. So it's very, very cute and appealing. But we are running out of time, so I need to move on. This is another favourite site of mine, this Solve Me. I just pull this up whenever I've got a spare minute. And this will take you from year 1 right through to advanced. So if I just click on one of these, you could use the snipping tool and copy and paste them. But just here's an example of one. I do these with my students all the time. They love them. If the circle is 4, what does one side equal with the 4 circles? 16. So now you know that the circle is 4. What must the 2 triangles equal? So these go right through to an advanced level. Wonderful resource. Okay, moving on because we are at 11:39. Another great resource, similar to the last one, but there you go. Down the side there, algebra, data literacy. This one I had a little play with and gorgeous. So I show you this very quickly. It's a beautiful problem. And I like that saying, math is visual, so let's teach it that way. Louisa has 4 containers with an equal number of monarch caterpillars in each one. Somebody has 2 swallowtail caterpillars. So then I would pause that so the children can digest it and have a discussion. Oops. Now, how do I get out of, I've made it bigger, how do I get back? do I get back? I'll just go escape.
There you go, Wendy. You can talk to that last slide.
Okay, there you go. Thanks, Pip, for rescuing me.
You're
So,
welcome.
I do want to show you this. I can't.
What do you
Pip,
want?
can you? There are 21 ways to use Cuisenaire rods. This is wonderful. Do you all know the story of George Cuisenaire? He was a piano teacher, and he noticed that his piano students were wonderful at mathematics and indeed seemed to be able to grasp concepts very quickly. So this is why he created those rods. Now, if you scroll down, Pip, scroll down, and you will see that keep scrolling, there we go. There are all these wonderful activities with Cuisenaire rods, all with algebraic themes for students to explore. It's really, I do use these Cuisenaire rods, especially when teaching algebra and fractions. So they're wonderful. Okay, we can go back, Pip, to the websites.
Wendy. No, that was the right one.
Yep.
There we go.
Yep, here we go. So the bottom one is just all the math websites in one place. I've put in, if you click on actually the Enrich Roadshow, I just want to show you how they've organised it because it's quite excellent. So they've put it in Aegis, and the Enrich Roadshow has lots of very, very cool activities. Ones that you can print and also ones that are interactive. And then below that, you will see links. Yeah, they're great activities. You can just bring up on the screen for that teachable moment. So really worthwhile exploring that. If we click back, Pip. Okay. The acorn problem, if you, in the real world math lessons, you will find a treasure trove of those. So Pip's clicked in there. Here it comes. Okay, so if we scroll down, we will see. There you go. So it starts with numbers and operations, and these are all set out like the Acorn task with full units of work for you. So if you keep scrolling down, I realize we're at 11:45 now, so I apologize for going over, but if we scroll down, there's data literacy, there's probability, there's patterning, there's the acorn tree. That's the one I took. And we scroll down even further, we see algebra. So that really is another treasure trove of resources for you. So everyone, that is me. I really hope you've enjoyed this presentation. I'm sorry about not being able to escape from the screen. Just as well we were at the end anyway. So thank you all for coming along and joining in and giving up your Saturday morning.
I like to think of it as enriching our Saturday mornings.
Thank you. Thank you, Nicola. Thank you for your thank you. I really appreciate that. Yes, there's lots of ideas there for 7s and 8s. Yeah.
Are there any other questions for Wendy?
Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Anita.
All right, I'm going to go back to my slideshow. So Wendy, thank you. That was great as usual. And I'm pretty sure that participants will have found at least one thing they can use on Monday morning, which is always a bonus. I'm pretty sure they'll have more than one thing. If you haven't already, can you give some feedback to Wendy in the chat? That's the easiest and the most direct way to do it. And we really appreciate you being here, Wendy. And for having the viewers, the participants. It's great to have you here too. The resources and videos will be shared next week. Actually, I must just quickly find the chat because I was going to share I'll just put the link to Wendy's slides in the chat for you now. And then I'm going to go back to present mode. Get that out of the way. All right, and then just a couple more slides. So the new curriculum, I think this is a little hot topic. And Jared, if you're looking through, you may want to decide whether you keep my next statements or not. I think the thing that's really important with the new curriculum is that we're really clear about what we must cover, and we don't get freaked out by some messages that might be coming through. I think good practice is good practice, and we know what good New Zealand maths and stats teaching looks like, so keep doing that. And one of the big concerns for me personally over the last wee while is the misinformation about the PPDAC cycle. So the document says that the statements are no longer organised by the PPDAC cycle. It doesn't say that the PPDAC cycle is no longer used. All right, so the curriculum tells us what we should teach. The PPDAC cycle is about good teaching and learning and stats. So we really just want to make sure that message gets out to people, that it's not that the PPDAC cycle's gone, it's just we had got it to the point that the curriculum was structured to really help teachers understand the PPDAC cycle, and then they've changed that. Sorry. And yeah, make good teaching decisions, which you always do. It's about what works well for your students and your circumstance. And there is no one size fits all, as we all know.